Have you ever looked at a situation and you ask yourself why it is happening to particularly that person? Today, we bring you a story of a single mother in an African village who gave birth to a disabled child, but what they're going through is unspeakable. The moment her friends saw her newborn baby, they all said that she had given birth to a baby with two heads. And instead of standing by her and trying to make her feel better, they all advised her to throw away the baby, kill him, or find some other way to get rid of him. But she refused. By now, we all want to know what happened. So this is her story. A few years ago, this lady was happily married just like any other wife, and everything was okay. A few months after she had been married, she and her husband finally decided that it was about time for them to have a baby. She got pregnant, but a few months in, something really bad happened. Her husband got sick, and since he was the one taking care of her, she now was the one that was supposed to take care of him and herself as well. Her husband was taken to different hospitals for treatment, but when this lady's pregnancy was just 6 months old, unfortunately her husband died. This was sad, but she had to move on because there was nothing that she could do about it. My husband died and we didn't see that coming at all. Elle had a lot of questions in my head about how I was going to manage everything on my own. But somehow I had to make myself stronger and believe that everything was going to be okay. She later gave birth, and instead of everyone celebrating and being happy for her, it was quite the opposite. Everyone that saw her child said that the baby had two heads, and they said this because the baby was born with a tumor at the back of his head. Yes, when I gave birth to my son, I remember it so well. It was in the evening, and everyone was coming back from work. So they decided to pass by and see the baby, and all they said was that my son had two heads. To be honest, this really scared me to the core. Things did not end there because she kept getting attention from different people because of her baby, and they started giving her advice. They said that there was no way she was going to manage to take care of this baby all by herself. They said that it was obvious that the baby was not going to be a strong and healthy child, and she was always going to need a lot of money for treatment. And keeping this child was going to be a lifetime burden. After telling her all that, they finally told her that the only way that she could escape all this was if she found a way to throw away the baby or kill him, because if she keeps him, she was going to regret it soon or later. As they were saying this to me, I kept on wondering how people could advise me to kill my own child. It was obvious that my baby had an issue, but again, how could I get rid of my child? The only memory I had left of my late husband. It was then that I swore to love this child with all my life, and I still do until today. She decided to take care of her child as Fiacre was growing up. She realized that the tumor at the back of his head was not the only problem he had. He also had a problem with his body, since it was getting more deformed as he was growing up. She then started seeking for treatment from different hospitals, which was not easy at all because they kept on being transferred from one hospital to another, which was very expensive because in some situations, she was asked for money that she did not at all have. The doctors asked me for $600 and I didn't not all know where I could get that kind of money. So it is one of the reasons why I decided to give up on treatment and bring my son back home and hope for the best. Since doctors told me that it is nearly impossible to treat him. He later went to school, but she couldn't manage to take him to the school of the disabled, and he was taken to a normal school, which she believes that it was one of the worst mistakes that she ever did. Other children started bullying and laughing at this boy because he was different from anyone else at school. And it was not long after then when this young boy, Fiacre, finally dropped out and didn't want to go to there anymore. However, this was not the only reason why he dropped out of school. He says that school is a long distance from home, and with his condition, walking to and from school each and every day was the hardest challenge that he has ever encountered in his life, and when it kept being harder, he gave up. Life for them is very challenging. She stays at home each and every day. Taking care of her son, getting food is not something they consider easy, but they do everything in their power to survive. Every time people struggle, they survive, and they do better. Thank you for watching. This is The Intax. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories.